My name is Juleon Lewis. I am the Executive Director of Live Pura Vida, which is a nonprofit primarily based in Fort Worth right now. Our primary organization is Pura Vida Youth, and we have a full service STEAM program that we offer to disadvantaged youth in communities where we teach everything from yoga and meditation, martial arts, cooking and professional plating, history and dance, everything to address the holistic child so that we can address the holistic community and we can elevate our communities of color to a different place. Pura Vida is a brand with an amazing vision, and I believe that our effectiveness is already being seen, but not to its fullest degree, I should say. We've been heavily impacted by COVID because our funding stream was the for-profit businesses that I started. We are slowly starting to come out of that now, so we are blessed. However, the challenge is, and as most of you know from your nonprofit experience, the challenge will always be funding. So the question and the challenge that I'd like to bring to you all today, since this is new for me, is how can we share the message of what we're doing in an effective and digestible manner so that we can get more awareness of our brand and what we're doing.
Freeman Leonard has put together a program called A Time for Heroes, which finds us all here today to brainstorm solutions that can make an impact for local businesses.
Are you open to complementary sort of nonprofits or groups of artists that are sort of in the vocal field or the visual arts that have existing curriculum and are successful at it to help you think about broadening your scale and your scope, hence broadening the awareness reach for your current business?
It struck me, I'm not sure if you've seen on either TikTok or on Instagram Reels, dancers who are also educators and using their videos to point to different things like information about facts, be it about your nonprofit, about the people that you serve, about the impact that you're having. What a better way to really kind of encapsulate the entire experience, but then to integrate dance within some of the other impact areas that you guys have.
So talk to us a little bit, Juleon. And you have a wonderful smile, by the way. It should be all over the place. I just love it. But I have to ask about partnerships with schools. So you clearly partner with them with the after school programs, but do you have any partnerships? For instance, our school partners with Grace and has for many years in Grapevine, Texas. And so it's been a great partnership and we support them in many, many ways. I'm curious if you have any schools that you specifically have a partnership with that are for volunteers, for donations, for in a myriad of different ways, really. But do you do any types of partnerships on the education side?
The other thing that occurs to me is you've got multiple sort of avenues to pursue, with dance being one, but you're making such a meaningful difference in broader communities through youth with a focus on Latin culture and African American culture. And it just feels like these all, if you look at all of those channels, might have similar organizations to reach out to, again, amplify what you're already doing.
I feel like one of the easiest and time efficient things to do is to get some email blast going. Whatever your message is, you talked about the Amazon idea. If you want everybody to switch over to smile.amazon.com, that's a quick email to your entire database. Please switch over. If you need volunteers, that's an email. I need volunteers in these 3 areas. So I would encourage you to put together an email strategy. You can do that in a couple of hours, and it's just about putting everybody in your database.
Part of the challenge of especially growing your social media and how a lot of the platforms are navigating, they continue to diminish organic reach. And so there is a time investment, obviously, in procuring a lot of the content that you produce. And so some of the ratios or equations that go through my mind are, what is a proper investment to simply increase your awareness? Meaning, if you, Juleon, are helping source content and you're investing 5 or 10 hours to do that, but very few people are able to see that content because Facebook doesn't promote it organically.
It may be that clearly there are volunteers, and Jennifer has worked in an organization that has a very sophisticated volunteer organization. They literally run the majority of the events and programs for Make-A-Wish, and it's a massive group. And so I think maybe offline she could share some of that insight into how they have built that kind of volunteer organization. The other thing I was going to suggest is we get a lot of young people who are in marketing degree programs who are looking for internships, both summer and full-time and ongoing. And some of those young people are in marketing and others are in social media. And I'm wondering if there are unpaid internships that you could seek so that you can basically clone Emily several times over.
You've got a great smile. I think you could be more front and center in terms of the face of this organization. As you go about your daily activities for the nonprofit and the for-profit, you can be the face telling that on Instagram stories. Like why, like that seems like something that you could add on, build the habit of being, going on Instagram stories, selfie style videos explaining what you're doing, take people along like a day in the life. That might be a good way to, because you don't currently have any Instagram story highlights, for example, so you could start pinning those and then just start telling the story.
Really hone in on, I am making a difference in Fort Worth, Arlington, whatever my hyperlocal community is, for children of color. And I would move my what I do up instead of who we are, because it's not as important who you are, it's more important what you do.
I am blown away by everyone on the call. The amount of experience and talent on the call is almost overwhelming. What a pleasant surprise.